Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with xCloud game streaming will not be heading to the iOS App Store, leaving many iPhone-carrying Xbox players out in the cold. According to Statista, in the US alone, over 45% of smartphone owners are using an iteration of Apple's iPhone. At almost 50% market share, chances are that just about half of Xbox owners are likely using Apple's best-selling product. This means a good portion of people picking up the Xbox Series X will not get to enjoy what's slated to be a tentpole service for Xbox and their larger strategy moving forward as a company. This latest bet between the Microsoft Xbox and Apple App Store policy is leaving Xbox players who use iPhones in a precarious position. Do they stay in Apple's blue iMessage bubble? Or do they venture out into greener Android pastures and enjoy Game Pass Ultimate streaming when it launches this fall? If you're currently an iPhone user who's thinking of making the switch to Android, we're setting you up with what we think are the best Android phones for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, regardless of your budget. Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate's cloud gaming had its official coming out party during Samsung's Unpacked, alongside the Note 20 Ultra 5G debut. This marketing move made it the default go-to device to usher in the new service. For those unfamiliar, Samsung's Galaxy Note line is the tech giant's yearly everything but the kitchen sink device. With an annual fall release cadence, Samsung's Note line historically enhances or iterates on most features from its little brother, the Galaxy S, while tossing in the largest displays, fastest processors available, largest batteries, usually, and even a stylus, because why not? This year, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra 5G features the Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, 12GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, which is also expandable, both sub-6 and millimeter wave 5G radios for all US carriers, a 4,500 mAh battery, and a 6.9-inch AMOLED 2x display that supports dynamic 120Hz refresh rates. It definitely leads the pack with its audacious price tag, but if we're being honest, you're probably not finding another Android phone that checks as many boxes as the Note 20 Ultra 5G. But with all that, I can't wait till next year when Samsung inevitably announces the Samsung Galaxy Note 21 5G over 2G, 358GB over 75MB, final chapter prologue, Fighter Edition. Samsung Galaxy S20. The Galaxy S line is Samsung's annual iPhone competitor. Like the iPhone, Samsung's Galaxy S is made in various sizes, configurations, and price points, in hopes of its phones finding a home in as many pockets as possible. This year's phone, the S20, made a gamble on 5G by placing Qualcomm's pricier 5G radios in its entire lineup. This price jump brought it up $1,000, or right in line with Apple's Pro offering, and a whole $300 more than 2020's best-selling phone globally, the iPhone 11. Like its Note 20 big brother, the S20 is no slouch on paper. It features a Snapdragon 865 processor, 12GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, sub-6 5G, a 4,000 mAh battery, and a 6.2-inch AMOLED display with support of 120Hz at 1080p. Also, like the Note, its price tag will have most thinking twice before purchasing.
Sounds expensive.
However, with the device approaching the 6-month mark since release, you can usually find reasonable offers and discounts from the various US carriers, especially if you're switching. OnePlus 8 5G. OnePlus made a name for itself among Android enthusiasts who are looking for a no-frills, no-compromise experience, without having to shell out half a mortgage payment to get one. In its early days, OnePlus was among the first OEMs to sell phones with an AMOLED display, coupled with the latest processors, running a bloatware-free version of Android, and keeping all of that below $400. Going the route of becoming the value smartphone champion created an army of raving OnePlus fans and Android faithfuls. While the company has shown no signs of slowing down, sometimes going as far as releasing 2 flagship devices per year, its prices have almost caught up to the Apples and Samsungs of the world. Again, they're still the value player here, but unfortunately, value in a world of smartphones now floats around a little over $500,000. For that much green, what do you get? The OnePlus 8 5G features a Snapdragon 865 processor, 8GB of RAM, sub-6 5G, a 4,300 mAh battery, and a 6.5-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. You might have just experienced some deja vu reading about the S20 before this phone. And that's a good thing considering the savings between the two. Google Pixel 4a. Android needed its own iPhone SE, and Google delivered it with the Google Pixel 4a. Let's be crystal clear here. Like the SE, this phone is not going to win any arms race. But what it lacks in horsepower, it would deliver an overall user experience. And that's not just for this year and next, like most Android phones, but it's a third, and maybe hopefully even a fourth year as Google treats all of its Pixel phones to a minimum of 36 months of software support and updates. It's an unheard of feat in the Android ecosystem that can make purchasers of even the most high-end Samsung phones jealous. If you plan on using your phone for real-life things, like photos of your pets and your food, then you should know that you're also getting Google's arguably unmatched camera with all of the computational photography software tricks found in the high-end Pixel phones. At $349, this phone might be an even better buy than the dedicated point-and-shoot camera. That's how confident I am in Google's top-notch photography software. Luckily, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate's magic mostly happens in the cloud, so while the Pixel 4a will not be the snappiest of the bunch on the list, it will still get the job done. So what's under the hood? The Pixel 4a features a Snapdragon 730 processor, sorry, no 5G here folks, 6GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, and a 5.8-inch display. Oh right, and again, it's only $349 US. If you're an iPhone user who's looking forward to Game Pass Ultimate's game streaming, you have another important decision to make before you entertain this list of phones mentioned here. Here are some hard truths you gotta think about. Are you ready to venture away from iMessage, FaceTime, and maybe even an Apple Watch that you're presently wearing, to enjoy video games on the go? Well, to most, a phone is a phone is a phone.
A gig is a gig is a gig is a gig.
To others, there's serious green bubble shaming out there in the world, and the FOMO of not having those Apple iPhone only services like iMessage and FaceTime can, unfortunately, be another burden altogether. Project xCloud is officially being unveiled September 15th, and anyone with Game Pass Ultimate will have a front row seat. But what do you think? Will you be making the switch just to play games on the go? Let us know in the comments below. And for everything else, stay tuned to DualShockers.